well, I have people on Facebook who are a great support network for me. When I put something up, inevitably someone always posts a reply that is incredible and extremely supportive and extremely loving, and it always guides me into a new way. That's all been distant support, and it hasn't really felt like it's been a support that I could hold on to. You know, a lot of these people, none of them live near me. A lot of them, they're in other states or they're in other countries, and so they're not people that I've been able to actually feel or hold on to and feel like, you know, their energy is here and it's an energy that is surrounding me. But of course, that's not what they're here for. Other people aren't here to surround me with energy so I feel safe. And this is my belief, and yours might differ. But for me, you know, my support was always going to come through, and I'm amazed that I haven't seen it given how much work I've done with Archangel Michael. All of my support was always going to come through angels and guides, and the support energy was always going to come from my angels and guides. And so it is such a different feeling, such a different experience, allowing that support. And it's interesting, if I have a look at the patterns of my life in the past, I've not ever really allowed myself to be supported. You know, I come from a home, single mum from almost the day I was born, and I've been raised with that mindset that you do everything on your own. You know, you don't need a man. You can do it on your own. You don't need anyone around you to help you. You don't need anyone to support you. You just continue on and you continue on and you continue on, and you keep battling through life, and you keep doing it because that's what you have to do. That's what you're here for. You're here to battle on through, and you're here to do it all alone. And so I haven't ever allowed and embraced a support energy or a supportive vibration to surround me before. And I guess over the last 7 days, you know, things have shifted, my beliefs have shifted, and I know I've said this in a video, you know, the only consistency in me is my willingness to change. And that's it. That's the only consistent thing that I hold on to, is my willingness to change. And I will change a belief in an instant if the new belief feels more in alignment with the belief that I have. And that's essentially what I've done. I may have had a belief yesterday that said I didn't need support, and noticed it, seen it, known that I was harnessing it, and then gone, you know what, that doesn't work, I'm changing that belief. And the second you make a decision to change the belief, and yes, there are tools out there that you can use, and there are different things that you can do that will shift your belief. You can tap, and you can use EFT, and I still tap, and I still use forgiveness mantras, and I still use affirmations, and I still use those processes. And what I've also realized, and what I also use that's in alignment for me, is the knowing that the second I make a decision to have a different belief, that belief has changed. It's that, it becomes that simple. There comes a point in time where you're so open and you're so willing to shift anything that feels off, anything that feels out of alignment, that the second you realize that that belief that you had no longer works for you, the split second you realize that that belief no longer works for you, you can, in that same second, you don't even have to wait for the next second, you can, in that same second, make a decision to completely change the belief that you have. And I realized this, and it's only been within the last 7 days that I've actually really gone, wow, okay, so I don't need to tap anymore, and I don't need to do my mantras, and you know, I don't need to do any of it. I do it if I feel it's in alignment at the time, if there's something I want to shift, and it's feeling like that's what I need to do to shift it. But I'm now, which I wasn't before, but I am now also open to the realization that I can shift a belief in a second, simply by making another decision. And so I am consistently making new decisions, constantly making new decisions. And you'll see it on my Facebook wall. You know, it's the person I was 7 days ago, and the ideas that I had and the beliefs that I had 7 days ago are so not the same person that I am right now. I have different sets of beliefs. The beliefs that I have now have integrated in a different way, or they've evolved, or they've changed, their vibration has realigned, they've shifted, whatever way you want to see it. I guess, it's the best way I can put it. I have opened and allowed and aligned with new beliefs that have created a new vibration, a new alignment, a new energy in me, that it feels stronger, it feels solid, it feels connected. It feels like they're beliefs that surround me now. You know, the beliefs that I had, they didn't surround me. They were beliefs that I guess they were beliefs that I had, but they weren't not who I am. They didn't energetically surround me. You know, when you go out in the world and you have a set of beliefs, and they're not your beliefs, and this is what I see. For me, they're shaky. They're not solid. They don't form the solid vibration or foundation in your being. They're shaky, and at any time, somebody can come and pull a brick out, and that whole belief will just crumble to the ground, and you'll stand there and just look at it and go, "What? How did that happen?" I was so strong in my beliefs, but they crumbled at the first sign of challenge, or the first sign of confrontation, or the first sign of anything, and that for me, I guess, is that's kind of where my beliefs have been. They've crumbled at the first sign of challenge. Every time I hit that fear, my beliefs haven't been so solid and so surrounding that every time I've hit the fear, I've crumbled. My beliefs have crumbled. Because the beliefs weren't mine. They weren't strong. They weren't part of me. They were simply beliefs that I was feeling, and they've taken me to this point. But now that I'm looking back at the beliefs that I've had, they haven't been solid. They haven't been beliefs that I could hold on to in the time of fear and in the time of challenge and in the time of confrontation. I haven't been able to hold on to them. And now in this moment right now, I feel like I'm so surrounded by this amazing support, and part of the support is this foundation of beliefs that I'm starting to realize that are mine. They're me. They were made for me. They were written for me. They were designed for me. They're not for anybody else. And I remember having a conversation with someone, I can't remember what it was, and I said to him that every single person has their own set of beliefs. And it doesn't matter who you talk to about your beliefs, someone else is always going to have something that differs. Because everybody here is unique, and in the same way we all have our own DNA strands, and we all have our own individual fingerprints, we all have our own set of beliefs. And this is what, this is my belief. Everything is simply a belief. And my belief is that we have all our own individual beliefs. And you can take pieces from one person, and you can take pieces from another person, and you can expand, and you can change, and you can alter, and you can re-vibrate and realign. And then at some point, and this is what I'm getting, at some point you come into alignment with your beliefs. Beliefs that were written for you. And beliefs that are here for you to understand and for you to live. And you know when you have reached that place, because you feel it, you feel solid, you feel surrounded by, it's almost like surrounded by this strength that you've never had before. You didn't even know existed. And I guess this is kind of how I feel at the moment, right now. This is how I feel. I feel like I'm surrounded by this strength I didn't even know I had. And that is allowing me to do things that I didn't even know I knew how to do, or I didn't even know I had the ability to do.